ABC 5 Bears Extra, presented by Xfinity.
24 and a half hours, 1,470 minutes, 88,200 seconds until kickoff. Not that anyone's counting. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Berman. Great to be back with you for another edition of Bears Extra. And we have got our wonderful, amazing group of guests here to get you ready for the Bears playoff game against the Packers. We've got our coach, Dave Wannstedt, the head coach of the Bears from 93 to 98. Charles Tillman, who peanut punched for 12 seasons with the Bears. And Patrick Mannelly, who slacked off and played 245 games for the Bears more than anyone else. Great to be with you guys again. Now we're 24 hours closer to kickoff. It just feels so close. I want to go through the line here. Just how are you guys feeling this as you're walking around town?
Well, you know, I came up the other morning to do the early news. Yeah. 5:45 in the morning. I'm walking up Michigan Avenue from my condo. Some guy stops, seriously, and says, this was 2 years ago, last year. He says, you once said you and those Bears? And he kept walking. And I turned and looked up down Michigan Avenue, and there was two of us on the street, me and him, 5:45 in the morning. Now, I was at a place last night. Somebody bought me a drink.
There you go. There you go.
Whole attitude.
Everything's better in the city when this team's winning.
Right.
I think I just saw a Packer fan, some random guy, but yeah.
Did you do anything to him?
I didn't. I let him make it. I thought about it, but I was like,
just because you're a good dude.
I'm a little
good dude.
I'm gonna let him make it.
My thing is, I know the city is nervous. Let's stop being nervous. Let's be excited.
Right.
Let's believe. Let's bring that belief to the team that they've had all season. Stop with this nervous energy. That's what I've been preaching that on the score and all that kind of stuff. That just I want belief, and I think the guys in the locker room have that. So let's bring that belief to the team.
I agree that fans in the city feel some of that impending doom. Not that it's going to happen, but they feel it. But what's most important is what the guys inside Hallis Hall feel, and I think there's a lot of belief there. Tomorrow's game will be the 213th between these two bitter rivals. All three of these guys were part of this bitter rivalry. What I want to know is, and Patrick, starting with you, what was your welcome to the Bears-Packers rivalry moment?
This goes back to Coach. He was my rookie year. I played for him. We played the Packers in December. We played them in the last 2 of the 3 weeks. And I remember you put together a video montage of like the history and the fights and Forrest Gregg and Mike Ditka and all that stuff. And I remember sitting in that room in that terrible hotel in Green Bay and feeling that energy and feeling that excitement and understanding what that meant to the Chicago Bears. We unfortunately lost the game, but that was the moment where I knew it was real. It had been preached to us before, but to feel it with the 53 guys in that room, it was intense.
I had a little bit of an advantage because when I come my first year, obviously knew the stories and everything from coaching, but I had Kevin Butler, Steve McMichael, Richard Dent on the team with me that first year, so I had those guys stand up and talk. And I remember Kevin Butler did a fabulous job, and then I had Steve stand up and just said, you know, the emotion of it and kind of their history of it. That was, you had to be there and live it back in those days was special.
Yeah. I didn't know you coached you.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
Coach, I drafted him in the first round. First round pick.
Last pick of the 6th round. Thank you.
First round pick.
I wouldn't be here in Chicago without this man.
Have y'all played him like 213 times? Damn, Coach. I didn't know you've been around that long.
Give me a coach story.
Okay.
Come on,
let's talk about the Packers.
Wait. Well, I think, listen, I was talking about the impending doom thing that maybe some people are feeling around town. I know we're going to go back to the 2010 NFC Championship game. That's a part of it. Sorry to bring up that memory, but we're going to do it. And I think that ultimately, though, I said all that matters is what that team is feeling inside Hallis Hall. And Patrick, you've had your finger on the pulse of this team, talking about them on the radio all season. This is a team that's taken its cues from Ben Johnson, and it does believe that it's capable of winning this game.
They do, and then you have to lean on the guys that have played in the playoffs before. We have a lot of young guys this will be their first playoff game, and Peanut, it's a different energy. And so they have to lean on those older guys. Coach, you were talking about the Bears-Packers rivalries and learning about, the older guys from them. You have to lean on those older guys and understand how to deal with your emotions.
I actually want to know, what did Steve McMichael say?
No, he just.
Or is it not fit for television?
Well, you know what? Now you said, but it was fantastic. It was just his experience doing it and some of the history of it. It was awesome.
What about you, Peanut? When you're thinking about this rivalry and the Bears getting a chance to play the Packers in a game of this magnitude, is it almost like you can't overstate how big this game is. I know it's not a Super Bowl. I know it's not a championship game to get to the Super Bowl. But the fact that it's the playoffs between these two teams.
But you don't really know it until you get in the game. When you first get drafted, when I got drafted back in 2003, they give you a montage or a collage of Packers, this, that, whatever. You're just like, yeah, whatever. But then you get the game. My first game against the Packers was when the stadium opened in 2003. It was a Monday night game, and I was like, holy, like, what? So that's when I was like, oh, this is real. Like, this is – we don't like this team. It was one thing to say it, but now when you're actually in the game for that first time, it was like, oh, yeah, I don't like this team.
Yeah, you got to feel it, right?
Because it's something you got to feel. Something someone can't say to you. You have to feel it.
Everyone who's playing in that game wearing those Bears-Packers uniforms, they didn't grow up in Wisconsin and Illinois.
Right.
They're coming from everywhere. So
I mean, even Micah felt it. Micah Parsons, he was there a week and was like, yeah, I hate the Packers, or I hate the Bears.
That's
like,
right.
He was there like a week, so it's something you got to feel.
Okay, well, we got to take our first break, and then the guys are going to give us their keys to a win. Coach, Peanut, and Patrick tell you how the Bears are going to beat the Packers. We're back on Bears Extra. Time to draw up the game plan that beats Green Bay and earns the Bears their first playoff win in 15 years. Here's the good news for the Bears. They've got a higher power on their side. How about that? Pope Leo, this was in late December. My buddy Adam Baumley sent it to me. He was in Rome standing next to a kid who had a Bear Down shirt on and was yelling Bear Down, and Pope Leo points to him. And we showed you the jersey earlier, Catholic imprint behind these jerseys. They're donating proceeds to charity. So all of that, a wonderful thing. Good to have the Pope on your side, right?
It doesn't hurt.
I take the Pope, the Dalai Lama. I take them all.
Yeah. But let's get to the game. And we're also start, but with Caleb Williams in this Bears offense. They've been saying all week they've got to get off to a faster start, Coach. How do they do it?
Well, I think it's all about first down. Everybody wants to talk about touchdowns and, and red zone, third down. That's all critical. But to me, the Bears have to come out with positive plays on first down. I think if they can do that, that takes the pressure off of Caleb. You don't want him in third down and long, right? I mean, you want to come out in first down, and that sets up the play action pass. And by first down, I mean run the ball and have some success.
What's the value of the work they'll do to script that first drive and really rep it during practice?
Well, that's been a little bit disturbing. I know, to Ben, he talked about it because, they walk through that. You guys all know, first 15 plays, you put them in like a Wednesday, you practice them Thursday, you walk through them Friday. I mean, you've gone through them at least twice.
And then you saw what they look like.
And then you go, and then you go out there and you start slow. We can't do that, obviously. You don't want to fall behind against a game like the Packers.
That's the thing. And Peanut, from your perspective as a player, when the offense does go out there, go down the field, put it in the end zone, how does that momentum impact the sideline?
It gives you everything. I mean, I know for me, when we were out there in the offense, where they would control time of possession of the clock, and this time for us to go out there on the field and play defense, that gives us some momentum when we go out on that field. And that's what you're looking for, and that's what you want. You get really good momentum when you get on the field.
Patrick, when you've seen the Bears execute early in games, is there anything that stands out that they've done well?
Yeah, they limit the penalties. If you go back to the very first Packers game, they had penalties on the first two drives, and they went 3 and out in those first 2 drives. So I think it's important to do that. And then, Coach, like what you were talking about, first down, being able to run the ball. That's been the strength of this Bears team. So if they can run the ball well and control the clock and get ahead and not get behind like they have in a lot of these games, it's going to be an advantageous game plan for them. They just have to be good on first down, like you said, and stop these penalties to get behind the chains.
The run game has been so good for this team, third best in the NFL this season. You've got 2 capable guys in DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai.
Yep.
My opinion, they should lean on that early.
Yeah, I think they will. Don't you guys? Yeah. I mean, they for all the reasons we talked about, but also, right now, if you look at Green Bay's defense, they've got 2 starters in that defensive line. Wyatt's out, a big tackle, and obviously Parsons. So the best thing that we're doing right now on our football team might be our offensive line. Truly.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The way they're playing, and we got to jump on that early.
Well, defensively, the Bears facing a healthy Jordan Love, also facing an all-pro running back in Josh Jacobs. Peanut, what's the bigger concern for you looking at this Bears defense? Is it Love in the pass game or Jacobs in the run game?
I would say it's Love in the passing game. Clearly, the last 2 times we played them, we've given up 2 passes for over 40 yards. So I think one of the keys for us on defense is we have to limit the big plays. No big chunks.
Yeah, that hurt them at Lambeau. Then it was different in the game at Soldier because Love was knocked out. So going to be incumbent on that secondary to be to stop those big tests.
I'm not saying knock them out, but let's hit hard.
Okay.
Let's hit hard. We got to knock them out. Let's hit hard.
Ain't nothing wrong with hitting hard, right?
It's football.
I don't want
that's football.
Hit hard.
When we come back, it's been a decade and a half since these rivals met in the playoffs. Peanut and Patrick were on the field 15 years ago. They'll help us look back at the 2010 NFC Championship game. Plus, we're going to ask the guys, who's that member of the Packers you really didn't like? Stick around. We'll be right back. I'm getting psyched because we got the long snapper IPA out, which we will toast later. But first, Bears and Packers, 7 o'clock, Soldier Field. I want to know from you, Coach, what the heck is Ben Johnson feeling right now as he gets ready to lead his first team as a head coach into a postseason game?
Well, he's got the double duty because he's going to call the plays. So you got that in one category. But then what he's really focused on is, okay, 4th down.
Yeah.
Okay, when do I go for it? Do I want to run it? Do I want to pass it? Are we ahead? Are we behind? How's our defense playing? There's more to it than just calling a 4th down play. Then we know Ben loves trick plays.
Yes.
Okay, he's got a couple. He runs 1 or 2 every game. When and how do we want to run the trick play? We're out on the field, across the 50, on 1st down. How about if we're ahead? Do we want to waste it and take a chance? He's thinking through that stuff.
Do you consider it a guarantee he's going to use a trick play?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yes, in a game like this, I do. In a game like this. And the last thing, special teams, trick plays. We haven't seen, I don't know if we've seen any, Pat, and you guys can answer
Patrick,
that. But this is when you got to, you just don't call a fake punt. Again, what's the situation like? If we don't make it, can our defense stop them? So there's a lot that goes into all these unusual plays that the head coach is responsible for.
I'm not sure we've seen, I don't think,
no, they haven't.
A fake punt from the Bears.
They've been practicing at least one fake for 18 weeks. So they've been sitting on it and working on it. So it's sitting there waiting to be run.
And if you're the long snapper, if you're part of that special teams unit, how geeked up are you to run that play?
You want the announcers to call your name for that, not a bad snap.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so let's talk about how everyone is going to take this big game in. I'm going to be there. Am I the lucky one who's going to be there? No one else?
I'll be there.
Oh, you'll be there. All right.
Not me.
We're linking up.
Not me.
Where are you watching, Coach?
Well, I'm probably going to watch it. I may go to the marquee station and watch it there, or I'm going to watch it in my condo where I can take notes. Yep. I'm getting prepared for a show probably Sunday.
You're going to be here on Sunday. Patrick, where
I got to work. I got to do the pregame with Mully and Olin, then I take the notes like you do, and then we got the postgame, and I'm looking forward to the winning calls from the Bears fans.
So it sounds like the only one of the 4 of us who can sit there and have a cocktail and some wings or pizza is you. So what's the game day drink and meal of choice?
Diet Coke, Coach. I'm working. We'll keep the rest of that stuff till later. Okay.
What's ask Coach what the head coach is feeling leading up to a game like this. Peanut, what are the players feeling? Because everyone's talking about how big it is.
Yeah.
Can you avoid that? Or do you have to just kind of accept that it's a big game, but go about your business as normal?
You have to accept that it's a big game. One of the biggest mistakes I made was going into the NFC Championship game in 2006. I let my emotions get the best of me, and by the second play of the game, I had like an adrenaline overload, and I was exhausted. So after that, going into the Super Bowl, I just treated it like a normal game. So my advice to all the players, treat this just like a normal game, man. There's going to be a lot of ebb and flow, a lot of emotion, but you have to control your adrenaline and just let the game come to you.
So that sounds harder to do for the rookies or for the guys who haven't been in a playoff game. For the veterans, Patrick, when you're a veteran and you've played in those playoff games, do you kind of feel like it's incumbent on you to say things to the guys who are about to experience their first playoff game?
Yes, you let them know what you've been through before, how you've experienced, and then let them know to get into a routine or keep the same routine you've done before. for a night game. How do you deal with a night game? You know, obviously it is a night game or noon game if you get to playoffs next week. Hopefully they do. How you deal with that and how you deal with your emotions during the day is try to keep it as normal as possible because you're going to feel that energy. As soon as you walk in, as soon as you get in your car driving to Soldier Field, you're going to feel that energy.
Yeah, this is an easy pregame talk for Ben. You don't have to say anything. The guy selling popcorn or the guy selling Pat's beers, he's ready to play. Trust me, I know that.
All right, let's pass these beers out. I remember doing a story with Patrick, so I have tasted this beer before. It is absolutely fantastic. Long Snapper IPA.
It's actually chilled, huh? Cold.
Coach,
Pat, you don't mess around.
Patrick was bringing us warm beer.
Here's some victory.
That's right.
To a Bears win.
Cheers.
Okay?
Cheers.
Let's get this done. Cheers, gentlemen.
Bottoms up. Good, better, best. May we all go to rest. Take your shirt off now, Coach.
You know what? About 2 more of these and I might.
It'll do it.
I'm going to keep that in mind for Sports Sunday.
It'll take more than 2. Trust me, I've been around.
Maybe not these.
Bring us a few more.
I'm from Pittsburgh. I've been around.
I got some more in the
Guys, this was a blast. Thanks so much. Maybe we're doing it next week.
We will.
We're doing another Bears playoff game. We're all out of time. Bears.
I've heard some comments that Pittsburgh and Baltimore was the biggest rivalry in the NFL, and you know that's false.
That's your guy. He says it is false. Agree?
100%.
Yes.
Do you think?
Absolutely.
How much do you think players across the league feel that way as well? I mean, there's going to be some bias when you play in other good rivalries, right? But do you think players across the league really feel that there is something extra special about the Bears and Packers?
I'll say yes. I'll speak up now because think about what DJ Moore said at the end of last game. He's a guy that came from the Carolina Panthers, and he summed it up perfectly when he was on the national broadcast of how he felt about the Packers, and it just took him a couple of years to get that expletive out there.
I mean, you just don't see other games like Bears Packers. I mean, this is 200 and what? 45 games, 213, 275. You were there, right?
I was, Coach, I wasn't at the beginning, but I was there.
Well, they did, for the first time, play in 1921. Answer to your question is they played 212 times to this point.
My math is bad.
Only 2 of them, though, in the postseason. The Bears won well, you know, it didn't matter. You're a good football player. Bears won a divisional round game after the 1941 season. And unfortunately, the NFC Championship game following the 2010 season went the Packers' way. Charles and Patrick, you were playing in that game.
Yeah.
I want to know, do you still think about, does that one still eat at you?
That one doesn't eat at me. The Super Bowl loss,
sure.
That still eats at me. I'm over the NFC game. You know, it is what it is. It happened, but we damn sure could have won that game.
Yeah, I went back and actually rewatched it again today just to kind of refresh my memory.
Yeah.
We were down 14 early, and then we came back and had a chance to win at the end, and Caleb unfortunately threw an interception in the red zone. But to go from Jay Cutler to Todd Collins to Caleb Haney and still have a chance to win, it was an interesting game.
We never should have put Todd Collins in that game.
That was a hiccup.
Should have gone straight to Caleb Haney.
Caleb did a heck of a job.
He did.
He did a heck of a job coming in.
Collins didn't want no part of that game. We should have got somebody from the sideline of a college or a high school or Carmel or something.
What if Jay doesn't get hurt? You feel good about winning that game?
100%.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
I think
yes.
we win the game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's think positively. All 3 of you won playoff games with the Bears. I want to know, what does it feel like when you win a playoff game in this town? Coach, start with you. 1994 in Minneapolis.
Boy, you know what? I think that, you know, having been in 1 playoff games and gone to the Super Bowl, I knew it was at the end of the tunnel, but you don't talk about that. You're kind of locked in your own little world, and you're just trying to get ready for the next game. I don't know what you guys, your experience,
Well,
you know?
for me, my first 2 years, we didn't go to the playoffs. And then my third year, in 2005, we actually make it to the first round of the divisional. And the city just opened up. Like, it's just like the city was born again in a sense. So I know we have all the sports and the Bears, the Bulls, and all the other professional teams, but when the Bears are winning, this town is cooking.
Yeah. Oh, there's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it.
Because you know what? You got for Cubs and Sox, there's division there.
Sure. Yeah.
Some people don't love hockey as much, don't love hoop. Everyone gets behind the Bears.
Absolutely.
Everyone. Okay. What do you think? What do you think? Here's a great question that I teased, and I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here. But what is a coach or player on the Packers you just didn't really love? I'm starting down there, Patrick.
It's a name, guys, you might not know. It's Colin Cole. It's a guy that I faced for years. He was a defensive tackle that always lined up over me on field goal and punt. And we had battles. And that's back when they could hit the snapper. And he was a big dude. And we'd go at it twice a year, and I hated it. And we would not say nice words to each other every game.
Repeat some of those words right now.
I don't want to get you fined.
I think for me, I sat in my room all day and just watched TV. So you got to think this is before the streaming and all that. So I just was ordering movies in my room all day. That's kind of how I would kill time and for the night games.
Yeah, my guy, my Packer that I still have nightmares, Brett Favre.
Oh.
Brett Favre, not only was he a heck of a player, he was as tough a player. He could have probably played linebacker. He really was that type of guy.
Did Peanut just try and get out of answering that question?
He did. He kind of.
Who's the Green Bay Packers player that you just didn't like?
Oh, Jennings was.
You got him a couple times.
I'm a lovable, likable guy. I did try to get out of that. I tried to be politically correct, but you know what? I'm gonna say Donald Driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Donald. I don't hate Donald Driver. I didn't like Donald Driver because he would catch the ball.
Speed, quickness.
He would do this little shoulder. He would do this little shoulder shake after he would get a first down, and he used to really piss me off. So there it is, Donald Driver.
You wanted to
call you tonight.
You wanted to go hit him, but you didn't want to draw the flag.
Yeah, I didn't want to draw the flag. Never the flag.
Wanted to knock him out. You wanted to knock him out.
I definitely did.
All right, one last time out. Then Coach is going to tell us what Ben Johnson's feeling leading up to the game. Plus, we're going to toast to a win. Don't go anywhere.
NBC